Theatre, film, TV and more. Suzy Wrong reviews it all on Joy Drive with Em and Warren.
At 5:15, Suzy Wrong. Welcome back to Joy Drive.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are we?
We are well.
Very well, thank you, because it's Radiothon, Suzy, and we have $30,000 worth of prizes that we're giving away.
Sounds great. Did you say a trip to San Francisco?
Yes,
return
for two
trip
people.
For two.
Oh, incredible.
But wait for it. Not only that, $5,000 worth of cosmetic procedures. Yeah.
I don't know why you had to pick that up for me on air to
that
talk
was just
about.
next on the list.
To be honest, Suzy, it actually is just second on the list. Like, I can vouch for him. It definitely is just second on the list. There's
Look,
also...
it is very appealing to
Actually,
me. That's
Suzy,
true.
this is probably more appealing to you. There are two gold passes for 12 months worth of cinema at Cinema Nova.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
But not only that, two cruise cabins for 8 people. On a cruise leaving Melbourne.
16 people.
Yeah, and you know what, Suzy, this is the one that I reckon you'll like the most because I can see you on it. A Scooterama Honda Dio motorcycle scooter. Yeah, I reckon you'd zoom down to Melbourne on that.
You know, I've seen a woman wearing heels on one of those things. I had such a good laugh.
You look
I
so
can do
cool
it.
on it.
Yeah.
We'd love it. So that's what we're giving away. So we're really good. But today we are talking to you about This Is Going to Hurt, which is currently streaming on Binge. What's it about, Suzy?
You wouldn't know that Adam is a junior doctor from the amount of responsibilities being heaped on him in the BBC series This Is Going to Hurt, now streaming on Binge. He works in obstetrics and gynecology at a severely under-resourced public hospital in the British National Health Service. Based on the highly successful memoir of the same name, this new dramedy takes us through the real story of one young man trying to do his best within a system that consistently asks far too much of its people. Dr. Adam runs from one crisis to another, delivering babies and rescuing lives whilst trying to keep his sanity in check in the middle of impossible circumstances. Although the doom and gloom is painfully persistent in the show, which includes an abundance of gruesome graphic imagery, the dark humour of This Is Going to Hurt is truly sublime. I found myself laughing and crying through it, falling in love with its many wonderful characters. Watching these angels of healthcare struggling so terribly in order that we can be healthy and get on with our lives is so incredibly moving. A student doctor named Shruti is one of the most lovable characters you'll see on TV, and I'm glad that a significant portion of airtime is given to her very meaningful story. Playing Adam is Ben Whishaw, an out gay actor who does a brilliant job of playing a gay doctor, proving once and for all that the industry needs to trust our LGBTQIA actors a lot more than they currently do. Em and Warren, I know 7-hour-long episodes is a big commitment. How did you go with it?
I was able to manage to fit 5 episodes in this week, and I literally am going to finish the season because I can't stop watching. I want to know what happens. I also just want to preface everything I'm about to say by saying I started to watch This Is Going to Hurt when I was eating lunch, and that was a mistake. Huge mistake. It is really, it's quite graphic.
You get used to it, though.
You do get used to it, but I was eating a lasagna, and it kind of...
Oh, that would have looked like the
People have confused lasagnas with ultrasounds before, so...
That would have been the layers of the skin.
It was not ideal for eating lunch, so that would be my only, cautionary tale. Don't eat while you're watching it.
Not lasagna, anyway.
Until you're ready, until you've watched a few and you know what's going to happen. I thought that the talking to camera was a bit weird for the beginning, but then you just get used to that as well, and then that's kind of fun. I also liked that, the story, the main character's fiance, at the beginning boyfriend and then fiance, also told this story of how there is this stereotype that all gay men are one size fits all, but they're very different. And I liked that it highlighted that. Obviously everyone is different. So it was really nice to see that play out on screen as well, which doesn't happen so often.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was a realistic portrayal of the fatigue that we see, in the healthcare system, the causes of that fatigue, being the overstretched staff. And you know what? I thought it'd be enough to turn anyone off studying medicine if you watch this show, honestly, because not only the fatigue and the stress, but how easy a complaint can jeopardise a health professional's career. And let's not forget, we haven't even got the pandemic impact overlaid on that. So, I know I'm extrapolating to what's going on, but I was really, I was shocked at how they could maintain any possibility or any standard of healthcare in such a chaotic state. I mean, I couldn't do it. There'd be no work-life balance whatsoever. And I loved Ben playing Adam in it. And I loved how Ben was in The Hour, wasn't he? Which was another BBC series. And I think he just plays Adam absolutely brilliantly. Em, you talked about the talking to the camera. I usually find that a little bit cringeworthy, I must admit. But in this one, I sort of found that it was a bit of a snap breakout from the drama that was going on and the pressure that we were living, that's going on in this hospital scene. And I found them really quite funny. And I found myself stressed watching what Adam was doing, but also, feeling, quite anxious about, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to his career? And then all of a sudden, he would turn to the camera and say something, and it was hilarious. And I found that broke it up, and it just made you realise, I'm enjoying something on TV. I'm not living it.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because it was funny, Lots of serious stuff happens, but there were also moments where I was watching by myself and I'd laugh out loud.
Yeah. What did you think of that, Suzy?
Yeah, I did think that his bits to camera weren't as much as Fleabag. I think Fleabag uses it a lot more. And this one is, you're right. I think it lightens it. Like, he would do it at really, really crucial times, right? Like when things are really hitting the fan, and he would turn to camera and give you a quick moment to sort of. I feel like it helps me a little bit. I didn't know that it's Stress Awareness Month.
There you go.
Watch this show and you'll be right in.
Stress for life.
Like, you can see, the graphic quality of it as well. Like, you can see the level of stress that they get put under. And I think watching it is very stress-inducing, I found. And I did feel like it was discombobulating. But I think they give it a good sense of balance with sort of the sort of more heartwarming bits and the humor. It makes it easier to watch. And the start, I was thinking, oh, why do I have to look at all this blood?
Yeah.
And, soon it becomes clear, like, you have to know what they're going through. The whole point is to let you know what these people have to go through on a day-to-day. People that we think are just, they're just hanging out at a hospital waiting for me to fall sick. They have so much on their plate, and you just wouldn't know it until it hits it right in your face in a show, with a show like that.
And I can tell you from people in my life who are working in the hospitals as both doctors and nurses, they come home and they say, hey, this is what it was like.
But that's why I said that they're like angels. You can really tell, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, why wouldn't you just quit? Why wouldn't you just walk out?
Yes, exactly, 100%.
Yeah, and I think Adam does eventually walk out. Like, he works exclusively in comedy and on TV now, so he's no longer a doctor. But clearly he was working with, especially the women there, the slightly older women who were probably, nurses, who for them it's their daily life, and they go through it like, it's water off a duck's back, whatever that's thrown at them, and you just look at them and you think, wow, what are you made of? And I'm thinking, like, what kind of childhood trauma you've had to be able to withstand all this day to day. It's incredible.
Absolutely. We're chatting to Suzy Wrong about This Is Going to Hurt, which is streaming on Binge at the moment. Suzy, I noticed at the beginning of the episodes it says it's based on a book. Is it based on a real story?
Yeah, it's based on his memoir that was very famous. It sold really well in the UK, and it's taken a few years for it to come to TV, which is great. I did do a bit of a Google search because I was so intrigued by his sister-in-law. You know how there are very few mean characters in the show, but the sister-in-law was a bit of a piece of work. And I was wondering, how was he able to do that if it was a real story? But actually, he doesn't have a brother. He's got a sister. So I guess there is a little bit of twisting facts around. It must be in there. Yeah.
Did you both feel a bit of conflict over Adam himself, played by Ben, of course? Being the junior doctor, he's got the arrogant boss. I found the boss quite funny as a character, but feeling conflicted. There's an empathy for Adam, isn't there, for working in that situation? But there's also a bit of frustration of, hey, you've cut some corners that have resulted in a complaint, but I can kind of understand why you cut them because of the pressure. So there's this whole conflict going on. And to me, that's a sign of a really good TV series that generates those feelings within you.
Yeah, there's a lot of vulnerability. That there is no hiding from his privilege. They go back to him coming from a privileged background, even though we see him in the trenches all the time. Like, we know that his father is an established surgeon. That's how he got into medicine, and all that stuff is revealed. And I like that they don't hide that. And the mistakes that he does do, we do see that. And Ben Whishaw just is so charming, and he does it in such a way that you feel like, that could happen to everyone. And just because you're a medical professional doesn't mean that you don't make mistakes. And it was done in a really sort of gentle way, I think.
I thought the entire cast were pretty good, though. What do you reckon, Em? Because is it Shruti? Played by is it Ambiki Mod? I think is her name.
Yeah, incredible.
She was incredible. Honestly, as the student doctor, and I think this is her first major TV role. But she does a great job in that. That insecure, sort of nervous new doctor there, but yet she's still got that real desire to want to be good at her job.
And I love that her character was so standalone. It wasn't all about Adam and how Adam was her mentor, whether he was a good or a bad mentor. Like, her story was really solid. And, I guess it is quite a substantial show. It's 7 hours, so there was a lot of space for her to sort of establish her own story as a complete person. So I was really I really admired how they were able to do that for a secondary character.
Yeah, I think that is something that doesn't often happen. A lot of secondary characters are kind of really not fleshed out, and they're quite, a loose version of what they could be as a character. And this, I really enjoyed that. And it also, some shows will do, it's this person's episode, then it's this person's episode, then it's this person's episode.
Yes.
But this, at the same time, simultaneously was telling both of their stories. And I thought that was really cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think there is a certain generosity there that, I guess in the promotion of a show, you kind of have to feature the star, and you have to convey what the thing is about, which is essentially this man's memoir. But there is a lot of Shruti, and I really love that.
It is called This Is Going to Hurt. It is currently streaming on Binge. I know, Em, you said you can't wait to watch.
I'm going to watch it on the tram home.
Yeah, I've got 2 episodes to go. I was hoping to watch them before today, but I can't wait to watch them tonight.
I'm literally gonna call you guys after you finish the final, because it's so dramatic at the end.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it.
Looking forward to it. What is our homework for next week, apart from finishing off this series?
Next week, we are looking at something for younger audiences from our very own ABC TV. First Day tells the story of trans girl Hannah as she begins her life in high school. It's available on iView right now, and we'll find out if it's as harrowing as it sounds.
First Day on ABC iView. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah. Should be great. They've just started season 2. We missed season 1. I'm assuming it happened last year. It didn't come across my attention. So we'll take a look at the 2 seasons. It's not too long. I think they're 25-minute episodes and 4 episodes in each season. So we can talk about the whole thing, I think, next week.
Fantastic. Thank you so much as always, Suzy.
Thank you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Zoom off on your scooter.
Thanks, Suzy.